Um, I understand like every marriage is different and husband wife aspect. You seem very protective of Katie and her having conversations with or without you. But like I said before you came on, I do believe that Katie is the one who, and I'm not saying it's because she knows what happened to Sebastian, but she was the last person that was with him. And so she does hold the most information, at least up until the point that he went missing.
What information do you think she holds?
What do you think the next step is? I mean, because and you don't have to answer this obviously. This is just me kind of like thinking and talking out loud, but like it's been over 7 months. The police have not said anything publicly since the first week of April. And I think that a lot of people feel like they deserve something to be come out and said, which nobody deserves that. We're not entitled to any of that. But April, May, June, July, August, September. So it's been 6 months since there's been a
Like
public
a press
statement, I
conference?
guess.
Yeah, not even a press
Is
conference.
that something that, like, I mean, is that something that can be requested by the family, you know?
I mean, what I can tell you is, I mean, the same thing they would probably tell you. Um, right now, there's nothing. There's no leads. There's no anything right now. We're just kind of like we're waiting on the one. There's got to be, in most of these cases, there's always one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing. They just need one
Mm-hmm.
for it to break, and then everything starts falling into place. And we are all waiting on that one thing. What is that one lead, tip, overlook of something? They're constantly looking at things. Um, it's just, I wish there was something to go off of, but I mean, there's not.
And we have big news. I'm so glad it's being discussed. I've wanted to discuss this with you. Apparently, you may have heard, there is an audio recording allegedly of KP slipping and saying Sebastian was M'd. Shocking. We're going to listen to it. It is an explanation of what happened. And then after that, I'm going to show you on X one of the individuals involved who gives a further explanation for the context of the situation. But apparently what occurred is BBQ, Barbecue Lady, recorded KP at a lunch. Barbecue Lady had a friend with her named Tammy. They've had a bit of a falling out apparently, and have been one of which is discussed this audio. Okay, this is not the actual audio of KP saying it. This is an audio of them discussing what KP said at the lunch that was recorded. After this, it's shocking. I ask you, what parent could use the M word? Think about it. That's a strong word. That's a strong word. After or before Sebastian was murdered. It's shocking. It's shocking. It's a slip, whatever it is. She says it allegedly, according to these people I'm waiting to release the actual audio, but I did want you to know this is from a luncheon. That's what they're discussing. It occurred in Tennessee. It was recorded, and Katie apparently made a statement. I haven't, not since before Sebastian was murdered. Shocking, devastating, and what mother would say that? That shows so much knowledge. And I don't actually, that audio's out there. So I believe this is the game changer, my friends. If that is truly released there and given to law enforcement, please do so, because that's the game changer. That's knowledge. That's out of her mouth. That's a game changer. Let's listen to this video from TikTok or from X. It came from TikTok. This is Lauren sharing it with us. Lauren from Facebook. Credit to Lauren from Facebook, and it looks like, got it from TikTok at Crimes and Canines. Okay, it says, did Katie Proudfoot slip and say Sebastian was schmurdered? Because that, my friends, was the conversation that is allegedly recorded. They were talking about Sebastian's godmother, and KP made a statement. You'll listen to it here, but along the lines of, I haven't seen her since before Sebastian was schmurdered. Shocking. Put the cuffs on. Games are over. Pick her up. Horrid choice of words when the rest of the nation is searching for Sebastian. Listen to it. And then after this, I will play for you the explanation from one of the individuals.
Witness, and unfortunately, there have been no leads to the whereabouts of Sebastian. I still try to keep up with any updates in regards to the case. Unfortunately, there is a lot of drama, but we're not covering that. We're covering something that was released on Alive yesterday, and this was from someone that met with Katie Proudfoot in person and had lunch with her. From what I am understanding out of this clip is that Katie Proudfoot, while at lunch with this lady, made a statement that Sebastian was schmurdered. We do not have the recording of Katie Proudfoot saying this herself, but if you've been following this case, you know Katie Proudfoot has not been in the public's eye very much at all. So if this clip is true, does that mean that Katie Proudfoot slipped up?
As soon as Katie said those words of that supposedly is who Seth named as Sebastian's godmother, when I've only met her one time, and that was before he was murdered. Immediately, we heard those words.
You did, not me.
It was locked eyes and even asked each other at that moment, did you just hear murder? And I didn't. We're like, she just said that was before he was murdered. That was her words.
And for now, the question remains, where is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers?
Did Katie Proudfoot? Will the audio be released soon? I believe it will be. I believe it's going to be a timing thing. I believe it's going to be released, and we are going to, in my opinion, hear KP say those words. If those words were said, game changer, game over, march on over to her home, knock on her door, take her wrists, put the metal clinks around them, and let's get some answers. Let's listen to this one more time. Allegedly, during a lunch that was recorded by Barbecue Lady, who has the audio, and I'm sure will release it. They were having a conversation about Sebastian's godmother, and allegedly KP said, I haven't seen her since before Sebastian was murdered, whatever you want to say. That is knowledge. That is not a mother who is looking for a runaway. That is not a mother who is looking for someone who may have been taken, kidnapped, lured. That is a mother allegedly with knowledge. Now, I am hearing CP was on a panel discussing this. Please send me that link if you have that in my email. I would love to hear that. Thank you so much. Let's listen to it one more time, and then we will go over to the explanation. Shocking reveal. And what's so sad is this could have been released depending on when this lunch occurred. If it's when I am aware that people flew into Tennessee and gathered, this could have been released many, 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 many months ago and revealed knowledge, if this is accurate, that Sebastian Rogers was M'd a long time ago. This could have happened if this is true. Get the cuffs on this woman if this is accurate. We are done playing.
And unfortunately, there have been no leads to the whereabouts of Sebastian. I still try to keep up with any updates in regards to the case. Unfortunately, there is a lot of drama, but we're not covering that. We're covering something that was released on a live yesterday. And this was from someone that met with Katie Proudfoot in person and had lunch with her. From what I am understanding out of this clip is that Katie Proudfoot, while at lunch with this lady, made a statement that Sebastian was murdered. We do not have the recording of Katie Proudfoot saying this herself, but if you've been following this case, you know Katie Proudfoot has not been in the public's eye very much at all. So if this clip is true, does that mean that Katie Proudfoot slipped up?
As soon as Katie said those words of that supposedly is who Seth named as Sebastian's godmother, when I've only met her one time, and that was before he was murdered. Immediately, we heard those words.
You did, not me.
Us locked eyes and even asked each other at that moment, "Did you just hear murder?" And I didn't. We're like, "She just said that was before he was murdered." That was her words.
And for now, the question remains, where is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers?
And for answers, I believe we need to speak to KP. In my opinion, my theory, my speculation, however, when we have a mother who refuses to speak, who refuses to give a timeline that is accurate, consistent, solid, who was the last person to see her child, whose alibi is she was alone with her child. And then we hear that she's at a luncheon with other content creators, and she makes a statement that she's met Sebastian's godmother once, and that was before Sebastian was M'd. Dear God. Let's listen to this person. So the reason this is being discussed is two of the girls, Tammy and Barbecue Lady, I know neither of them, were at a luncheon and they were friends and they allegedly recorded Katie. And this is proof that I'm going to show you. They're saying that Barbecue Lady was recording KP. So proof that audio is there. The girls got into a falling out apparently, and that's why this is being discussed, released, leaked, outed. Let's continue and listen. Credit to the White Rabbit on X. Shocking. The world searching and the mother's using the word M'd.
Katie ended up coming to our Airbnb, and it was Emily, Nikki, myself, and Barbecue, and Katie. And we had went out. Katie had Ubered to our room. She came into the room and talked to us for a little bit, and then we got in an Uber and went to eat. Well, that was the first day that we were there, and lo and behold, I find a message in my phone that says from Barbecue, "Hey, by the way, I'm recording." And she said, it said, I'm gonna show you the screenshot. By the way, I'm recording. She just messed up on his age or something. And it may not be anything, but I want to be able to go like listen back to it. Now, this was the day before Nikki picked up the phone and saw her recording. So not only was she recording that night, she was recording, I guess, the whole time that Katie was with us, because Katie ended up going out with us the next day and eating lunch. And then that's when Erin accidentally picked up Barbecue's phone and she was recording Katie. But let me just pull up that text here and just kind of show y'all. Is it this one? 5:55. It's messed up with herself. The click. It was me, Emily, Barbecue, and Nikki in the chat. And here's where she says, Stephanie Barbecue Lady, I am recording, FYI. I also got that part where she just messed up with his age. Might be nothing, but just wanted to re-listen. Earlier in the day, Emily had messaged something about vodka and cranberry juice is in the fridge, and then Barbecue said, I am recording, FYI. And then there was a message up under this where I had picked up the phone, I guess at the same time that Barbecue had messaged this, I had messaged and said, how long did she say her and Chris had been together, or something to that effect. So there's proof. She swore that she did not record. So she did record. I don't know why she wanted to lie about it. Maybe she didn't realize that this was in our phones. I don't know, but there it is.
So February 4th is the date of that. We just saw in the text messages the date of that luncheon and the recording allegedly where Katie says, KP, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' mother, the last person to be seen with him, the last person to be known to be with him, the last person who claims to have seen Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers head to bed on Sunday, February 25th, attends a luncheon on February 4th, 2025. So we're looking at 2.5 months. And she slips and says, allegedly, I haven't seen his godmother. I've met her once and haven't seen her since before Sebastian was emmed. Proof? Knowledge? Will this be what it takes? When that audio is released, has it been given to law enforcement? I pray it hasn't been sat on for 2.5 months, knowing a mother said her child had been emmed. This is serious. Please hit the thumbs up. Please share this. Let's get this out there. This needs to be revealed. This game needs to be over. To her, it's a game. To the rest of us, it is Sebastian's life. Allegedly, in my opinion, and I have a right to one.